Action.
Hi guys, welcome. This is Renee and welcome to ReneeTV. I'm so glad to have you here with me. I thought that I would do an end of the year wrap up and do a reflection of 2022 before we cross over into 2023. And basically, this is just a sit down with me, just a girl chat to say, lessons that I've learned from last year. So grab a coffee, tea, water, smoothie, green juice, whatever your preference, and let's get into today's video. Was to decide what you're going to commit to. Last year, in the midst of even the health scares and all the things that was going on, I'm like the type of person in the family that everybody calls, and it's just that, oh, they want me to solve their problem, they want me to do this for them, they want me to listen to them, and later on you'll understand why, because I have a background in that. But it gets to be overwhelming when you're trying to get your ish together and everybody around you is trying to do the same thing and they're pulling on you, not knowing that you need time to rest and rejuvenate and relax and have a time to, do those things that are productive in your own life. So basically, I had to decide what I was going to commit to. Okay, I had to decide that I was not going to overextend myself, because I do things outside of work, and the thing is, I have a 9-to-5. I have a teenager. I don't have a chef, nor do I have a maid. So there are things that I have to do myself. So I have to incorporate all of that, all of my time into that as well. So I had to decide what I was going to commit to, because I was saying yes to a lot of things that I should have really been saying no to. Okay, and the second lesson learned was to enforce strict boundaries, to piggyback off of the first lesson. So your time is valuable, and in order to accomplish the things that you desire, to accomplish, it's going to take time. And I didn't really realize how much time I had really available, like before work, after work, weekend, because not only do I work, my teenager works, so we have to work out our schedule because we share a car. It's my car, but we share a car. So you have to take all those things into consideration. I also take a few courses. We also try to go to the gym. It's just so many things, and I'm sure that is the case for everyone that's listening, because we're all trying to be that girl. So, but seriously, I had to learn how to enforce strict boundaries. I'm a little bit of a pushover at times, and I am a recovering people pleaser. I am the middle child, so it was just like I've always been that person that is the peacemaker. Like, I want everybody to be happy. I'm the person at the party wants everybody having a good time. Everywhere I go, I tend to take on that role. But I realized that sometimes people are going to have to step up, and they're going to have to do some work on their own. They're going to have to do some inner work, some shadow work. They're going to have to learn some lessons for themselves and not have someone pick up the pieces for them with everything, every aspect of their life, but nothing serious or detrimental, but just some things. If you can get somebody else to do it, you will, and you won't do it. So I was doing things for others, and I was neglecting things that I needed to do for myself. So lesson 2, my biggest lesson, I think that should have been number 1. So enforce strict boundaries. Okay, the next one is be intentional. That was another lesson that I learned. And for some of you, this may not be lessons. It may just be a reminder. But to be intentional And you have to exercise this amazing amount of focus. That is what I did not realize, guys. Like, you can put something into the atmosphere and say, hey, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm going to accomplish, and then you have a crazy day at work. You're short-staffed, and in my office, that's a common, mishap, is that we're constantly short-handed. So, like, you're doing two persons' work, and then you're drained. And then the type of job that I do in a day is that you listen to a ton of people, and it can be draining, although it's rewarding because I love what I do and I love helping people. It's just that sometimes you kind of state how many people you can help in one day. So saying that is just being intentional with what you're going to do that day. And maybe this should have been being practical, but also it's evaluating what works for you and what doesn't work for you. What is your peak time that you can actually commit to that specific task? Like, whether it be exercise, whether it be meal prep, whether it be running errands. What is the optimal time that would be most beneficial for you to get that done? And that's what I mean by being intentional. Sometimes it's like, prepping things the day before, like prepping what you're going to wear, prepping your work bag, throwing snacks so you don't spend money that you don't need to spend. Maybe it's getting your ducks in a row. That's what my dad always says, like when he goes to town. He's like, let me get all my ducks in a row. So say you have to go to the cleaners, you have to go to the market, you have to get gas, just kind of just think about all the things that you need to do and kind of, act accordingly, get your ducks in a row, make better use of your time. So that's mainly what I'm saying, is being intentional in that aspect. Okay, so one of the biggest takeaways or lessons that I learned from last year was to plan your lazy days. Because honey, when you come home from work, if you're not intentional and you don't really state that this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to cook. Like, I could literally take something out in the fridge and still go through the drive-thru and pick something up because I was like, I don't feel like cooking. Or you could have your workout clothes laid out, and the weather, it could be a change in the weather, and you could be like, oh, not going. So like, I was having more lazy days than productive days, if I could be fully transparent again. So I would say the biggest lesson that I learned from last year was to plan lazy days. There is nothing more than I like is to be in my PJs, in my clean, good smelling sheets with my favorite drink, and cuddle up with a good book or strolling through social media. Like, literally, I love lazy days. So I had to say, like, okay, these are my days that I plan, and it's like, it's not a work day, because sometimes I'll be just the opposite. I'll have a productive days, and I will just pack on everything that I can in that day. So I'm trying to really find the happy medium. So I said, I'm going to plan lazy days, and in those days, that's when I'm going to stroll on social media. I'm going to catch up on Netflix. I'm going to read magazines, have conversations with friends, because I'm telling you guys, like, I would start a conversation with my friends or my family, and before I knew it, hours and hours would pass by, and I'm like, I didn't get jack done this evening. Now it's time for me to do my evening routine and go to bed. So yeah, plan your lazy days. Okay, and we only have a couple more. I mean, there were so many, but I was like, let me just narrow this down. I don't want this video to be like extra long. this was a big one for me. Let me know if this was a big one for you. If this is a big one for you, in the comments, give me a 5, because this is number 5. This is lesson that I learned from last year, number 5. So make an effort to complete things. This is where I realized that I need to get my follow-through game all the way up, because I will get excited about a project, a book, what have you, and then it will just fall to the wayside. It would be like, I don't know, it's like I'll start multiple projects and not finish them. I will start multiple books. Like I'll have a book in my work bag, and I'll be reading that book, you know, on my lunch break, because I get an hour. So I'll be reading while I'm in line for carpool, picking up my daughter. Yes, she's a teenager, and I still carpool her. So I'll be reading a book while I'm in carpool, and then there's a book on the side of my bed that I'll be reading, and then there's a book in the living room that I'll be reading. So I really need to focus on that one book. That's why in an upcoming video you'll see how I streamline different categories that I want to work on. And it's gonna be, I think, like a 2023 reset. So be on the lookout for that video that's coming up next. So, but anyway, I would start fitness routines, and I would be like, oh, this week I'm into this. Oh, then I'll be like, oh, this looks good, I'm gonna do this. So halfway through the year, I started to find things that I really like, that really work for me, because I was overly zealous in some aspects, because I'm not like the workout buff, but I do want to take it more seriously. And I had to kind of take it easy. It was a lot of things that I could not do. So as I was building up momentum and I was able to do things, I started to incorporate more things, but I did the things that I could do, if that makes sense. So, and then there were goals. I had a plethora of goals. And so I was like, wait a minute, let's just narrow this down and prioritize what is the most important thing that you want to accomplish, because we can't accomplish everything. So let's just rein it in and find out what we want to work on. So it was just like, you know, when you have a sedentary, when you have an office job and you sit down a lot, it's like that is not good for your health. So I'm trying to find ways to like be a little bit more active. And in this same category of making an effort to complete things, is the biggest thing that came up was I was waiting to the last minute, and I would forget. So I had to start practicing mindfulness, and that's where my planner came into effect. So that's another video that's coming up this month, is planning with me. So it may be like setting up my 2023 planner, but that's coming up. And it was just looking at it. Like I would do a planning session on Sundays. I don't know if some of you women do that. Well, I shouldn't just say women, because I don't know who's watching this channel. But I would say if you are a planner and you like to write things out like I do, I am a pen to paper girl. I love writing, journaling. I love that. That's one of my pastimes. I do. I have a ton of journals, notebooks. I'm always like trying to get my thoughts out onto paper. But I didn't feel like I made enough effort to complete tasks. And that is the one thing. And my daughter is great. My teenager is great about that. She is a task master. So I was like, you know, help me in that area. Help me to stay accountable. So she's been trying to help me. But I do want to finish projects. There are some projects around the house that I want to do. It's nothing major. It's just that it would be more beneficial for me, and it would help me out a lot. So after that long ramble, we're going to go to the last lesson learned from last year. Okay, so the last lesson that I learned from 2023 was to value my time. I gave so much time away last year and the year before that it's ridiculous. I love this quote by I think it's Barabasi. I may be messing that name up, but that is who the quote is by. And it says, time is our most valuable, non-renewable resource. And if we want to treat it with respect, we need to set priorities. So that was big for me. Like literally the light bulb went off. It's like sometimes you already know things, but knowing it and doing it is totally different. So I feel like that's where wisdom comes in, is when you learn something but you practice it. Instead of just, consuming information, you actually utilize the information that you consume. Because I know, like, at the end of the day, we all know pretty much what to do. It's just the how and when to do it is where wisdom kicks in and says, it would be better if you did this and this and this and this, or did this when you did this, or attach this to this. Getting your ducks in a row, like my dad says. So basically, it made me sit down and think about, what did I really want to prioritize? And for me, it was prioritizing rest, because I realized that I function on a whole nother level when I get adequate rest. Like, I wanted to be that girl that says I'll sleep when I'm dead, but it looks like I was getting myself closer to the grave by doing that. So I don't take that motto on anymore. I want to sleep now, and I want to get up, and I want to have a new aspect on life the next day. I want to be fully rejuvenated, because it's like, I don't know, for me, it's like, the heavens open up when I wake up, and it's like I got rest. Oh my God. Cooking with grease. So prioritize rest, prioritize wellness, because wellness was something that I was like, oh, if I can, I will. Oh, that's cute. That's cute to go to the gym, Oh, that's cute to participate in that class. And I did it when I was younger. And I think when I was younger and I didn't have a family and I didn't work as much as I do, like, it was on the forefront. Like, it was definitely a priority. It really was, I don't want to say vain, but I really was a lot smaller. I really was, really worked out like a lot. And then it kind of like was not important anymore. So many other things took precedent, but that is not an excuse not to prioritize wellness. So now that I see that it's a hindrance, like it's hindering me from living my best life, so now it's back on the books. Now it's a priority because it's slowing me down. So, and then I wanted to prioritize, I guess this would go with wellness, but drinking more water, like staying hydrated. Like literally, it's so annoying when you're having a productive day and you're running to the bathroom peeing every 20 or 30 minutes because you're guzzling down a gallon of water a day. But I don't know if I'm going to go back to drinking a gallon, but I'm definitely going to drink more, because drinking coffees and teas, especially coffee, I don't know about you, but it definitely dehydrates me. So I'm having this cup of coffee, but like this is my only cup that I'm going to have today. And I may not even finish this. And you can see it's not a big cup. But I love the smell of coffee in the morning that just says good morning. So, but I do green juices or green smoothies literally Usually Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is my smoothie days, and Monday, Wednesday, Fridays are my coffee days because gotta get it. That's my productive days, and it's like your girl needs some coffee. But I just want to say, you know, if you didn't accomplish everything that you wanted to accomplish in 2022, it's okay. We have a new year, we have a clean slate, and we can reset and start all over again. So look forward to my next video, which is 2023 reset. And thank you so much for stopping by.